Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen. He has been very threatening, beyond a normal statement. And as I said, they will be met with fire, fury, and frankly, power, the likes of which this world has never seen before. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello my friends, and welcome to this video. Today is September the 5th of 2017. What you see right in front of you, yeah, it is. It's a list of the countries where bottled water, and I'm talking about 1.5 liter bottled water, costs at least $1.60. All right. And you're going to be quite surprised. Oh, there are many other countries, believe me, but are not listed here. And you're talking about average price for bottled water. Again, dimension 1.5 liter. You can see that Norway ranks whipping $3.32 for 1.5 liter of water, bottled water. You got Australia that follows with $2.84. Amazing. Zimbabwe, yeah, that's Africa. Understandable. Finland, $2.60. New Zealand, $2.50, and so on. There's a list of less important countries. You got Sweden with $2.30. Canada, interesting, $1.90. United States, $1.75. Now that's about 320 million people right there. And you have United Kingdom, $1.60 per bottle. Okay. Well guys, guess what else can you get for, let's say, this price, almost this price here, and for less than this price here? You can get a watch like this. Believe it or not, this is the same watch. You can get one like that. You can get one like this. You can get it from eBay. You can get one for $2.91. Yeah, you can do it. I did it. Now you can see them in my hands. In fact, this watches will be delivered to you for free, right on your doorsteps. Of course, from China. Hong Kong is China. China, I'm gonna repeat to you, China. Alright guys, the watches are real. I know so because I bought 2 of them. One for my dad, one for myself. I was just like, let me see it, and let me tell you, they really are nice. They're nice. I recommend you. If you go to a watch repairman, you're gonna end up paying about, at least it's a lot of mosquitoes here, you're gonna end up paying at least $5 for the battery to be battery change, and I would say about $10 is gonna run you a leather band, if you like, watch band. So including watch, you can have that delivered on your doorsteps all the way from China for just $2.90, in euros $2.50. Now when I think about John McCain, when I think about Obama, and when I think about Trump, by the way, Hillary Clinton, okay, I know you're watching this, and your supporters,
the video about Bosnia, where you were in Bosnia, after the bombing of Serbia, the video disappeared where you have actually stated, I'm gonna cite words because I have looked, searched over and over again, web, and you did so for the US elections, people could not see it, and so the Russians could not say anything about it. But there was a video, and I really regret I did not downloaded one from the YouTube, where you have actually stated, where you actually winked, suggested indirectly that what was in Serbia, the bombardment of Serbia, it could be also conducted elsewhere, and you had certainly in mind Russia. Absolutely, you had in mind Russia. Okay, that video disappeared. I tried somehow to regain to get one, but it disappeared. But I guarantee you, this is true. A lot of videos like that simply disappear from the internet because the US government is so disgusting, rotten. You know, they just this is nothing else than lie atop of the lie. It's just lie that is wrapped in lie. That's all it is. And everybody knows this. Thanks already. Ain't no place to run with garbage no more, anywhere. Now, what I was going to say is, look, that the politics, that the shit that Obama created, the only thing that happened was they only escalated under Trump. And this started already under Bill Clinton. Today's video, however, okay, I'm saying that because, you know, I'm just saying that because of the stuff that you have seen, you know, that, you know, childish, you know, foolish, really, really ugly, how can I say, you know, if Trump could, you know, if this man could, you know, he would just go out and just publicly, you know, because he is the kind of persona, he is the kind of individual, he is a showman. This is a showman that is not completely stable in his head, and he just thrives, you know, he just craves for some sort of excitement, you know, wow, from the public. Yeah, you know, wow, you know, wow, you know, what did he, wow, you know, everybody better to be afraid and this and that, you know. It's like a, how can I say, I've seen that a lot in the US with the employers. They just feel like they can oftentimes severely abuse people, employees, and use the little bosses to make person feel like person is shit, like person is almost like not human being. It's like, let's say it happened to me. You work hard, you work hard, you work hard, and then they get, it's called like a chain of command, you know. And chain of command is a good thing, but it can be really, really bad if you if that thing is misused. And it's misused nowhere more than in USA. And you have a big boss and you have a small boss, and that small boss is usually used to intimidate, you know. And then there is a big boss, somebody like Trump, you know, and that, you know, clown actually thinks that he owns everything, you know. It's that typical you know, psychological profiling that I have done on Donald Trump with idea. Just you can looking on his quotes on the Google that all the women basically flirt with him when he enters the room. The man is sick in the head, severely.
All of the women on Apprentice flirted with me, consciously or unconsciously. That is to be expected.
Quotes like "grab them by the pussy," just grab them, because they're like it's like a merchandise. It's just like a pen, or just watch, just grab. Attitude, you know, that believes, you know, that he's so certain in himself, you know, that he's gonna just, like the case was here in with Korea, you know, that he's just gonna go out and he's just gonna go and he's just gonna intimidate, you know, with a fire and fury, like world have never seen, like world have never seen, something like a world have never seen. The guy's a lunatic. This is a profile of the lunatic. This man craves for the attention. He wants to stand out. He wants people to go like, wow, you know what Trump said, you know what Trump said, you know what Trump said. And I saw just recently, you know, I saw this Nikki Haley, you know, it's like, it's enough of this S word shit, excuse me, word in a parenthesis, excuse me, with North Korea, this and that, you know, what North Korea, this and that. But the things don't work like this. I mean, the things don't work like this, okay? NATO organization is deeply, and I'm gonna say highly, overrated. That's one of the things. The position of United States in the world is like super highly overrated. United States of America, frankly, I'm going to tell you folks, it's a tipping point in the world, basically, where everything is assembled, you know, made in USA, make America great again, if you like. Yes, assembled in China. In the world, you know, but not only made in USA, but really they supply, China really supplies entire Europe, United States, world with merchandise. You know, this is where all the assembly, high-tech assembly is, without absolutely any doubts that Europe and United States have totally lost the race against China. When it comes to technology, assembly and stuff, this they cannot compete with. What in Europe is produced is actually the cost for the water is, and let me tell you how many people are unemployed in Europe and United States. I mean, people, we're dying here in the US. It's a mass slaughter type of economy we're dealing with, okay? Do you know how much it would take for us to get back in the race, for us actually to even compete? Now that's why I said the tipping point, because it's from the economical, from technological standpoint, you know, China really is a superpower, I'm gonna put it this way. The most dangerous weapons are those you do not see, and I guarantee you China and Russia have plenty of those. China don't even go into Russia, because that's what they, that's actually almost all they did. They invested almost everything into military technology, in advancement of military arsenal. China was about 30-40 years ago already nuclear superpower, and if you don't believe me, go and see the Google about the tunnels, Shanghai, Peking, what they were preparing themselves for the Armageddon already back then. And you know, when you consider they got all this technology in the top of that, and it's 1.3 1.4 billion of them, you know, the stuff like that, a childish, you know, stuff like Donald Trump, McCain, and these losers present, whom really nobody is afraid of, by the way, anymore. Everything is steeping toward Russia and China, because these people are not a double talk, is what Duarte would say. They stick to the word. And they do fight criminals. This is the word that the United States have lost a long time ago. It's truly question if, you know, like I said before, make America great again is going to be take America back again. If America ever will realize, if America will ever be capable to liberate itself of this leeches that are pumping blood from American taxpayers to some other place that I don't even mention. What I'm trying to say, folks, to you is something that when I was in US, you know, they talked about, and it's like it was repeated to us on the news, you know, over and over again, you know, defense budget, you know, defense budget for the NATO, defense budget US. Who's got the biggest defense budget? All right, we give a lot of money, we got a lot of, you know what, how much we have spent, this and that. No, folks. It's not about how much you spent. It's about what is it that you get for what you pay. In Europe, you get this for this. And so, and the same in the US. And so military budgets, when compared to the West, okay, Russian and Chinese military budgets, that's like, you know, it's like, you know, claims about the military budgets, stuff like that. This is a total gamble. I mean, this is stuff I would not even want to go into it. I have seen in Minsk, in Belarus, what how, let's say, mayor of Minsk, 2 million people, how the city was clean, and the budget is like this compared to the, let's say, to the city in the West. And I tell you what, city so safe, you don't have to worry about 24 hours, you can go whatever place you want to walk, clean, that you can almost eat from the floor. I'm just saying, I would not eat from the floor, I'm just saying. Try to do this in London, Paris, or somewhere else. Military budget and stuff like this, don't bet into it. Don't bet into any of that. The US is just like I said, it's on a tipping point. This is when things gonna turn around. I believe that it's not gonna take much to get US military repatriated back from Afghanistan to the US, kicked out of Afghanistan, and it's gonna follow, the same situation is gonna follow all over the world. You can bullshit world only for so much with human rights, with terror and stuff like that. You know, but then it comes, you know, things turn, you know. And I understand it's really hard for the US because US no longer is a #1 superpower. US is still a superpower, but the real superpowers really are China and Russia. It's because they have demonstrated that not only they can survive with these low budgets, but that they can produce just as little, if not even more, military arsenal than US or West. There is no fear. I don't really see any fear that these people would suffer from. That kind of Trump attitude, McCain attitude, nobody fears anymore. That kind of aggressive attitude, angry attitude, attitude like talking basically to your worker, like treating one like a dog. Maybe it is. Unfortunately it is. In the US, it's very present. It's how people are treated. It's like almost you throw dog bone and he runs for that bone. But in the world, that's just not the case anymore. So, I would suggest, US to reevaluate, start to get used to, becoming, let's say, less and less, I'm not going to say dominant, because dominance is gone here. But, less, just to, I would say, adjust yourself, to the, if you like, even a new global order, new world order, because this, it's just not the case that you play the same role like you did for the last 20 years, during which, by the way, you have totally destabilized, ruined the world. That's why it comes to my mind, when I saw this stuff about Donald Trump, that type of attitude, type of aggressive attitude, that's, it really is not Kim Jong. This I believe this was just used to suggest to the world that, any kind of threats and this and that, it's just a nonsense that, it doesn't work. World already have chosen champion for the new century, and that champion no longer is America. It's gonna take a hell of a lot, okay, for Europeans and Americans to be able to compete again, and even more to gain trust in other nations. Just a final thought. Look, I'm begging you, okay, and foremost I am turning to Americans and British people too, Canadians and Australians, because they are governed by this crazy Buckingham Palace. Okay, these are people that think that they actually own much more than just real estate, I should say land. They think that they own people. They think that people are just nothing, actually numbers, just something that is used and then basically thrown in a trash can, in a trash bin. That's how pretty much it's done. Okay, there are, like somebody would say, let's put it this way, stages of life. Okay, and through those stages of life, people are simply broke. They break them, and when pretty much no longer needed, they're disposed in a garbage, in a trash bin. It's a consumist economy, type of economy. Okay, let me just say this, please. I'm begging you. Okay, the mentality in China and Russia, and also across the Eastern Europe, it still is present in people. It's totally different. Okay, basically in what used to be Yugoslavia before, it did fall apart, and let me tell you, it did fall apart because of corruption, because of so-called human rights, because of well done by the West, let's put it this way. Okay,
Obviously, we never ever were appreciated anywhere. Okay, it was just, you know, the way to do it, just the way to break the society and gain control over one, progressively destroy one, enslave one, like, you know, they did the rest of the world. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that the mentality, I remember, okay, and I know it is the same still in China. In Russia, however, Communist Party is still very strong. What I'm trying to say is that the mentality, you know, it's everything is giving in humans dignity. Okay, it's a totally different concept to life. Okay, people get their workers notebooks, like little booklets. It looks like a passport, and they're brainwashed. Okay, I was brainwashed. Okay, since childhood, on rights, on in employees' rights. You know, on dignity. You know how that's so important that employer, you know, treats one fairly and so on. You know, on equality. You know, that's a communism. You know. If you want corruption, all you have to do is go to the capitalist, to the nearest capitalist, and you're in it. Okay. Communism, however, is the one that preserves the culture. It preserves things. If what I'm saying is the type of attitude, you know, that is exercised against you, you know, the type of attitude basically that you comply with, okay, which really have brought you to the end, to the bitter end. Okay, today Great Britain, United States are broken society, beyond broken. That type of attitude, you know, if you will have your rulers, let's put it that way, you know, come with that type of attitudes, let's say to somebody that, you know, in the face of the communist, you know, you're gonna evoke, you're gonna cause like tremendous anger. You're gonna like really pissed off somebody like this with that type of attitude. You got to remember, these people are born to live equally. Okay, law same for everybody, no exceptions. This is not Donald Trump's country, or Mitt Romney, or Bush, or Obama, that, you know, that you're gonna run away with the criminality and stuff like this, that you're gonna laugh in people's faces and, you know, do all kinds of gymnastic on a political stage, you know, use the controlled media and really ridicule people in most disgusting possible ways. You know, this, it's not such concept, you know. So just what I'm trying to say is that if you will, you know, come up, you know, with attitude like this, like some kind of superiority attitude, and you just don't have anything to back you up your attitude. Like I said, you may really pissed off somebody, and you know, the next thing you see, you know, that's what I'm afraid the most, because I live in Europe, but it doesn't matter if I would live anywhere else on globe. It's like I stated, in the World War III, I'm gonna say like Putin said, okay, he's not sure, he said, how the World War III is gonna be fought, but he knows that the World War IV, it's gonna be fought with the sticks and stones. Guys, please don't push. Okay, except be realistic about, you know, these global changes. Okay, what can I say? I mean, world tipped in direction of China and Russia. The best would be just to comply with it. Okay, the best would be just to take a different stand. Perhaps offer to Russia market and sanctions. Perhaps take a friendly approach instead. And likewise with North Korea and also Iran. Okay? Think about in what position you are today. You're in position not telling anyone what to do, really. And it did tipped around against you, everything. If you want the future, again, and we don't want this, we don't want to see United States, sanctioned. We don't want to see United States turn into, I don't know, into Cuba or something like that. Try instead to take different approach. Okay, seriously, try to sit at the table, reconsider, your politics, your dominant politics. Okay, believe me, you're gonna accomplish more. Try to use what you have, maybe to even expand. Through the friendship, you can do a lot of things. Yeah. But with some kind of anger politics, with some kinds of stuff like this, that actually really can be a really, really serious. Where is this going? I mean, where the hell is this leading? I mean, this is like, being completely unrealistic and threatening, fire and fury that world have never seen before and stuff like that. Those are the words of lunacy. Be realistic. That's United States of America. That's how you can talk and treat people. That's how you can treat American veterans, people who have pledged their lives for the sake of the country, for the sake of their people, and are afterwards left homeless whenever they dare to express that what should have been free speech option. But in the rest of the world, that just doesn't work. Okay, that's just not gonna do it. The best strategy is you can do is basically have America incorporated take the whole new approach to what is taking place. Some drastic changes really have to be implemented in U.S. politics. Okay, lying and all that kind of stuff. Spying on your own allies. Eavesdropping. Surveillancing your own allies across the Europe, including China and Russia, and then blame Russia for elections, even elections hacking and email hacking and stuff like this. This is bizarre. This is crazy. Okay, this is just extremist politic. Stuff like this is extremely dangerous. I'm appealing to my fellow Americans. Also, the Zio-fascism did not last. I mean, Donald Trump is not going to be much longer on stage. I mean, his legacy, which they try every here and then, failed totally. I think that they will probably try again with one, like in 20 years or something like that, 20, 30 years. But for now, nobody have fallen for any Zio-fascism or anything like that. If anything, the Europe started to re-emerge back to its old ways. Okay, people did figure out that that type of politic, you know. Yet all this came from the US. Water for the watch, ripping off people, stealing money from the people, corruption, you know, stuff that we have seen. This is just unimaginable, really. It's surreal. It's beyond Twilight Zone. I don't think the world was ever as caught up, as dirty as it is today.
Thanks for watching this video. Till next time.
When it comes to water, one of the most highly regarded qualities is purity. Whether it's filtered, spring, or tap, how you make water as pure as it can be, you make it kosher. Oh you? Oh yeah. And that's exactly what Mizmor Kosher Water has done, with its headquarters right on Robertson Boulevard in Los Angeles. Just doors away from the Kabbalah Center, Mizmor Kosher Water advertises a fresh taste and an okay from you-know-who.
Believe it or not, that we have a section in every bottling company where we make sure that we have the kosher certification, and it's not just a kosher certification, it is indeed a mashgiach.
Bottled throughout the United States, Mizmor is shipped all throughout the country. Locally, you can find it at various Ralph's locations in addition to stores on Pico Boulevard and even on Ventura Boulevard in Encino. So next time you go to the grocery store, be sure to ask yourself, is kosher water right for me? Your answer will inevitably be either heck no or heck sure.